Hello everyone, Pranam. I am here to invite you all to a very special retreat happening from the 9th to the 13th of January 2026 in Goa. In beautiful Goa, Swami Anand Arun is going to be visiting, and the We Women Foundation is going to be organizing this retreat that will be facilitated by Swami Anand Arun. Jai Osho! Please do come! Inviting you all.
Namaste, dear friends. Today we are going on another episode on Lone Seeker and Mystic with Ritika Anand. Being selfish, finding silence. We are honored to welcome Ritika Anand, a mystic, creative soul and spiritual traveler who bridges the worlds of cinema, consciousness and inner stillness. After a life-changing encounter with Osho teaching, Ritika was initiated into Osho Neo-Sannyas by His Holiness Bodhisattva Swami Anand Arun. This marked the beginning of her deep inner journey. Her new book, Being Selfish, A Dreamchaser Way Home, is a poetic and fearless reflection on ego, surrender, and the journey into love beyond the self. As she prepared to host an immersive Osho meditation retreat this January in Goa, Ritika joined us to talk about initiation, spiritual awakening, and joy of walking the mystic path. Ritika, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
We are here in Osho Nirvana, San Diego commune. And before we start, Ritika, how do you find Nirvana?
I've come to Osho Nirvana for the first time, and I've been wanting to come for a really long time. Sameer and Chanda are really good friends of mine. In fact, Sameer is my brother, and his parents are like my parents. So I always had to come here, and because this is the only commune in USA which brought back the essence of Bhagwan through the Samadhi, that was something that was a very special thing for me, and I really wanted to kind of experience it and see it, and I'm very grateful that I got a chance to be here. It's not like Tapovan, it's more close-knit, but it's beautiful. The orange trees, the very different kind of flowers and vegetation. The mornings are beautiful, the evenings are like so, I'm having pretty sound sleep here, so yeah, I love it, and so many congratulations to Sameer and Chanda.
Oh, thank you. And how did you find overall USA so far?
I've been traveling to the USA like since I was like 18 or maybe even earlier, so I've been in the USA quite a few times, but yeah, this time actually this is a year that I'm living my dream year. For the last 10-12 years I've been in this thing where I said, I want to spend 3 months in a year, the summertime in North America and the rest of the time in Goa, and this is the first year that I've been able to do that, so I'm quite happy.
Just a brief introduction to our viewer. Before coming to Osho, who were you trying to be in the world, and what led you to your deeper search into Osho world and into spirituality?
I don't know if I was trying to ever become anything, because I think that is something that I dropped a long time. I mean, it dropped a long time ago for me. I guess even before I came to Osho, I found a little bit of, I used to find issues sort of connecting with everyone, because I always thought that I thought differently. But before I thought that this was
You are in cinema, in movie industry, right? Yeah,
so that is something I was doing even then. It's after my last commercial project, JL50, that Sannyas happened. It's when my divorce also happened. So it was all kind of tied in. It somehow it feels like it was just all written and just happened. But I was not trying to become something. I was just going with the flow of life. Now I think, but I used to feel uncomfortable being like that in a world that is full of ambition and goals and dreams, and we want to achieve this and that. I had realized even a few years before sannyas that I was not made like that. Like in the sense that intrinsically, if I was saying that, oh, I have this ambition and this goal, I had started realizing that that would be fake. I was faking, you know. So I didn't want to, like be fake, but there was no, reason to I didn't know that like, why am I feeling different from the world? But when I started reading Osho and I started when he has this way where he can, he touches on what you're experiencing and then he makes you feel like it's not a problem. You can just live through it. It's a normal experience that you're going through. And it's not that you're less than. Maybe in consciousness, I'm not going to say higher, but different. Your consciousness works a little differently. And maybe that's why you just don't. I think I started becoming comfortable with not wanting to fit in after I found Osho. I was like, I'm okay with not fitting in anywhere in the world and not belonging anywhere. And I think that's when the spiritual community came around. And this spiritual community, Osho's community, has been with me through some of the most difficult phases in the last 3.5 years of sannyas. I went through a suicide attempt. They were there. Wow. Swamiji was there. He kind of lifted me up and encouraged me. And that's when he, made me Goa coordinator. And I asked him, are you like taking pity on me and doing this? And he said, no, I think you're deserving of this. So that was very encouraging for me, realizing that, okay, maybe not film or like at that time I had prepared myself that if film never happens, any more film, I never make another movie, I'm okay. I had kind of found that peace, but I guess that was not Bhagwan's plan, because I'm still making movies. And in fact, this year, 2 of my films have gone into casting. One we are developing and one is sitting developed, which we'll move forward. We haven't. We have 4 projects under our belt right now. So clearly he doesn't want me to leave. He just wanted me to take a break, and he wanted to kind of prepare me to utilize all of the aspects that I have in my life to he was trying to find a way to tie it all in. And I keep saying him, for the viewer, I call him Bhagwan, you can call it existence, you can call it God, you can call it anything, whatever is worship worthy for you. For me, it is Bhagwan. He's the face of existence for me. So that's just how it is. That's what I was trying. And now I'm here doing a lot more than just acting and making movies. So I'm very grateful. Yeah.
Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh, or Osho, as he later known, has a unique way of finding out his disciples, through books, through a lot of failure or other unforeseen circumstances in life. So how did you first encounter Osho in your life?
Well, my mother used to read Osho, a lot of Osho, when I was around 5 years old. She used to read. He was in his body then. And she was very, very inspired by him. In fact, she raised me and my sister with some of this, his philosophies. And she uses a lot of his philosophies. I don't think she even realizes how much she uses some of his philosophies in her business as well. So, yeah, that's when he actually got introduced to me, but I was never kind of drawn to him or anything. At that time, I was really young. And then when I got, when I met my ex, Shell, he used to listen to Osho a lot. And he used to keep telling me, sit down, listen to him, you learn something. And please don't mind, I love Bhagwan, but at that time I used to tell him, why do you keep watching this old man? And he used to say, can you see he doesn't blink? And I was like, that's why you watch him. What's the... So with him I watched a little bit, but I was not connected. But when I came to Tapoban, I think I started listening to his discourses. I think I was in the state of mind to receive what he was trying to give me. It all happens in divine time, right? For me, it was... within 2 days, I knew. I wasn't even looking for a guru, but I knew that he's my guru. And I have something to learn from him. So
One thing I noticed was like a lot of the celebrities in Bollywood environment, even Bollywood, Hollywood, in spiritual community, like some way or another, they have borrowed something from Osho, or they have
Yeah.
used his read his book, use his quotes, use his teaching and meditation practice. But why, like, people get kind of this feeling that they don't want to associate or represent with the name Osho or Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh in Bollywood.
see, the thing is, Swamiji, when you like, it's not the same. Osho is not respected in the same way in India as he is in Nepal. So what I'm trying to say is that in India, although it's very sad because he was born in that country, in India, he is still, the name Osho is a taboo.
Yeah.
Like for instance, for me, I've had a lot of experiences where people will like eye me, oh, Osho Sannyasin. Like, what does that mean? What does that mean? It's the same as anything else, right? Like any other sort of faith. But, oh, Osho Sannyasi, oh, sex guru ki cheli hai, to वैसी ही होगी. So there is this thing, and I didn't know that.
Has this attitude still same right now, or has this been changed?
Well, for the last 3 years, I've been experiencing it. It is not so like, I'm sure it has gone down a little bit, not so much because Osho's legacy has grown back in that country, but more so because human consciousness as a collective consciousness has raised itself a little bit. And I think that they are more open, but I am still like, I want to give you an example. My presence can feel like a challenge now after listening to Bhagwan and the stuff that I talk about and everything. So it can feel like a little bit of a challenge, but it has taken me a good 3.5 years. I used to fight when people used to say something that I knew for a fact that I had experienced on the path with Osho, and it was a reality, and then they would challenge, they would feel challenged. I would fight that back, but I've stopped doing that now. Why? Because I've started to now realize, because I used to think they're fighting me, but now I've realized no one is fighting me. They're all fighting an ideology, a philosophy of my master. It is his philosophy, and I'm not saying that I have embodied all his philosophy blindly. No, I'm not a blind follower. I have not embodied, like I've not imbibed all of it anyways, right? But the stuff that has worked for me, which is my reality, which is truth for me, which I have experienced, those are part of my reality. Those are things that I talk about. But unfortunately, I have come to realize that there is this tension with the way he has this very non-dualistic approach. He breaks everything down.
Master of controversy.
And contradiction.
Yeah, and contradiction.
Because contradiction, and you see it in weather, Swamiji, contradiction is closer to truth than consistency. Consistency is valued. I say this a lot, it is valued. And obviously someone as spontaneous as a Krishna or an Osho, I kind of find some of that spontaneity in me as well since I was a child. So when that kind of spontaneity comes out, where one day you're on this side and the other day you're on that side, then people don't understand, because they're like, how can we value a guru who is consistently contradicting himself? Because consistency is what brings results. But not everybody, the spiritual path is not about results. It is not about the outcome. It is about a process. It is about an experience. It is about living the mystery of life. And and kind of embodying that, these unlimited beings that we are. But to find that spiritual side of yourself, you have to find a way to go into contradiction. Because if you want to be closer to truth, truth is in everything, nature, everything around us is truth. Today this flower is alive, tomorrow it's going to fall down and it's going to die. That is not like, you might have said, oh flower, I'm going to talk to this flower, I'm going to say, oh flower, I want to come and like kiss you tomorrow, so be here. But if the flower is not there, I'm going to say it cheated me. No, it is living its process. It is your conditioning, it is your sort of in the box thinking that we have to be for something and against something that creates that divide. So I find that a lot in India, but at the same time there is another side to it, this non-dualistic approach. It gives sannyasis like us an opportunity to do things like this retreat that Swamiji is doing in Goa. Also inviting all of you, please do join us 9th to 13th of January in Goa 2026, Swami Anand Arun's first retreat in mega retreat in Goa, and we're very excited. It's a We Women Foundation, that my foundation is doing it, organizing it. So yeah, when like now I think I'm more comfortable being contradictory, because before I'm generally a more truth sort of, I like to walk the path of truth, whatever that truth is. Yesterday it might be something else, today it's something else. I stick with where my truth is in the present moment, and that I believe is true honesty. Because true honesty cannot come from conditioning. If your conditioning says I'm for this and I'm against this, then that is not honesty. To me, I mean, I'm not saying, to me that is not honesty, that is conditioning. Beyond conditioning is honesty. When you can fearlessly say, yesterday this is where I stood, that was my truth, but today this is my truth. At least I'm being able to tell you honestly, at least I'm being able to. So that is something that Bhagwan does. But that is a challenge. Try to think of it. I mean, we understand because we talk, we read him, we talk about him, we understand. And we have seen that what he says is not just a programming that he's giving us. He's giving us a device to find our own sort of divine nature inside. Like for instance, in his communes, there was no arti. There was no puja, murti puja. But in Swami Anandaran's commune, every night it happens.
In Pune one days and earlier days, people used to do his arti and his kirtan and bhajan. So.
But later he stopped that because he was not. But he himself gave Swamiji Anand Arun his first, like prayer ka wo kya hota hai, deep jalane wala. Diya jalane wala. So he always knew what was the master trying to give his disciple at that time. Which is exactly what Swami Anand Arun has given me when I told him, oh, you think I can run a commune? Then send me to communes. And he said, I don't need to send you to communes. You start your center. Everybody finds their own way to run their commune. And that's exactly what I'm learning now, right? I mean, if I build a space, I was telling Swamiji the other day that I'm looking to build a space in Goa, and he said, look for a space that is pre-built and then create around it. And that is going to include certain aspects of my journey, like tarot and mysticism and crystals and all of these things that have been a part of my own healing journey, part of my own sort of mystical spiritual journey, even before Osho. So that is part of me that reflects in my space that I build. So I think that people, the world at large, believes that Osho's whatever he gave, he was controlling people and making them all like him, which is not true. He was giving us devices and tools which we could utilize and find the divine nature within ourselves. It's a remembering, not a finding. To remember our own nature inside. That is what he is, and that is the part that is not very clear to the outside world, and that's why they, sort of
So here is
shun.
You are now doing a lot of retreat and giving at least some positive, doing some positive impact in the Osho world. And still young India,
Trying.
believe still associate Osho with this sex guru, Rolls Royce guru, rich man guru. But all the gurus that we see in India, like Ramdev Baba, Sadhguru, Ravi Shankar, they are all super rich. But why the taboo is still only associated with Osho? And what are you and we can do to change this perspective of the
You
people?
can't change perspectives of people. You can be the message. You can be the change. And when they see a disciple, being the change or being the message, then they can be intrigued to find out themselves instead of kahi suni baaton pe vishwas nahi karenge. Then they will want to like sort of go deeper into it and find it themselves, discover what the truth is themselves. Young India now, you mean like the 20s and the younger, is reading a lot more Osho now. Now they're reading a lot more Osho. The younger generation is a little bit more open to his sort of Zenjis, do we call them? I can't even pronounce it. But like, yeah, they are a little bit more open to not Osho per se, but like his philosophies. And you've taken all these gurus' names. Yes, they are all rich. But being rich is not a flaw. It is not a crime. Money, our relationship with money or wealth is a very childhood thing. What we were born into and what that family or that environment had a dynamic with wealth is something we embody, or if we don't like. Let's say our parents had a lot of money and we're like, oh my God, we feel guilty for being rich because we see all these poor people, and I feel like, I don't want wealth. I wish I was not wealthy. Same with fame, same with, like I'm just using wealth as an example. So it is our relationship with wealth. Wealth in itself is not a bad thing or a good thing. It is a neutral, it is a currency, it is an exchange medium. But, and wealth is in so many ways, property is also wealth, all this. But our relationship with wealth is what, the people who run the world, control the world, they play on it. So if we have a not good relationship with wealth, that is what is being played on.
True.
If we have a good relationship with wealth, so a wealthy man, he's wealthy, taboo. How can a spiritual guru be wealthy? But why not? Only a spiritual master, a real enlightened. Now, I'm not talking about spiritual teachers. There are many spiritual teachers who are joyful, happy, they have spiritual concept, but they're not enlightened beings. I'm talking about enlightened beings. I would not accept anybody but an enlightened being as my guru. And a lot of people say that guru ki zarurat nahi hai, be your own guru. I see that as a statement of the ego. Because it is not that we are getting like under a guru. It's a guide. And only someone who is totally sort of, free, totally free from a conditioned mindset, an enlightened being, a luminous being, can actually kind of show you, because he's gone all the way, can light up the path for you.
Exactly.
I'm not saying you can't get there, but it makes it simpler. And also, as you advance spiritually in consciousness, you tend to become very alone. People you can't connect with start dropping. I mean, till 4 years ago, before JL50, I always had like a circle of 20-25 friends all the time. But I can't connect with them now. Am I going to force myself? That's not right for them. That's not right for me. So it goes down from friendship to like acquaintances. So for me, what I have found is really that, it's all of these aspects, like wealth, like relationships, these are things that a guru can help you, an enlightened guru I'm talking about, not just a spiritual teacher. I mean, you and me can be spiritual teachers today. I am teaching children and things like that, but that's not what it is. And that's why I keep calling myself a student of life. A guru can actually, an enlightened being, can actually make the path a little bit more simpler for you. Because all of these aspects that the world plays on, the conditionings, he can kind of lay it bare open for you and then let you choose and decide what is right for you.
Sure.
I used to be very averse, certainly to a certain extent I was averse to wealth, even though I was born into wealth. I was not born into wealth, but yes, when I was about 9, 10 years old, by then there was a lot of wealth. So wealth, but I had this thing towards it because I used to be like, I lose friends, I lose people because I have wealth and they feel less than. So I lose people. So I developed an I don't like that fact that I'm wealthy. But it's only after slowly kind of recognizing that wealth is not a bad thing. Today, if wealth brings me a dress or a clip or like earrings and stuff, wealth also does something else, no, for me. Wealth also helps me create programs for the underprivileged. Wealth also helps me create spaces that I'm looking to do right now. So I think that it is all a part of conditioning. The moment they see a guru, everybody has wealth, they are living in their bodies, and I find the names that you have taken, they're all beautiful. I listen to all of them, but thing is that they don't speak as unfiltered as Osho. Osho is too direct, too straight, too truthful, he's just, he is just, he calls a spade, let's just say. And that is something that people can't really, digest very easily. So it's easier to put him in. It's just simpler on the psyche to say, he was a wealthy guru, he was a sex guru. But personally about sex guru, I will tell you, I don't mind him being called a sex guru. I mean, look at it, man. Which other guru is called a sex guru? And the thing that this world needs most education on is sex education today.
So while doing your work, I'm just coming on this question because these are some of the, I think, obstacles that is preventing or stopping people from openly getting associated with the Osho, especially in India, where a lot of the thing he have done, like so many work, like 30, 40 years, he have contributed on spreading his message, but it is slowly declining, or people just taking him as an author or a motivational speaker, but not as a enlightened guru as he is, one that is equivalent to Buddha.
See, Swamiji, like I just said, it is not easy to digest Osho. You yourself have to be a certain level of open-mindedness, open consciousness. You have to have a certain level of consciousness within yourself to be able to kind of, everybody's read him, everybody's done his programs at some point, but they can't digest him. Why can't they digest him? They can't digest him because he is a challenge to the entire foundation that you stand on. Because he says, break it down to like ground zero and then rebuild your foundation from ground zero, because you have to go cut down all. No one who wants to do that much work. You have seen me 3 years in Osho Tapovan. First 2 years, you have seen me.
Yeah.
7 times no mind therapy, 3 times mystic rose. You know these therapies. You
Yes.
know what it takes
And
out
it
of
takes
you.
a lot of courage, and dedication, and love for the master.
Love for the master is a very personal thing, and that's why I don't tell people. Now I'm becoming very clear, because it's Osho only who has given me this understanding now that it is going to be much more difficult in India than in Nepal to re-establish my legacy. Like you were asking, what are we planning to do about it? One of the messages that I have received from my guru, which is Bhagwan, and I talked to Swamiji about this, and he said, maybe this is the right thing. You're directly connected to him. You have to listen to his messages. And the message that I got is, my name is not important, my messages. So instead of, I'm in love with my guru. Like, once you find guru, it's like being in love with someone, a person, but it's just a little bit of a higher degree. The only difference is degree, right? The love is the same, that you fall in love with a person, you fall in love with a guru. The love is the same, only the degree is different. So I have found a higher degree of love in my master. And with that, even though he's not in his body, I can tell you, last 3 years, every time either the world or me myself, because of my actions, unconscious actions, have pushed myself down. Like in some way I've gone down. In the moment when I'm down, first of all, he taught me how to surrender. So in that moment when I'm down and I surrender, I totally surrender. And I say, what comes will come, what goes will go. I'm just going to be here fully surrendered. That is the moment I have felt, not once, not twice, again and again and again and again, that Osho just comes. I call him Osho. I'm reminding you, you can call him existence, you can call him God, whatever. Osho is everything right now, right? Like he's enlightened. He's lifted me up. So when I've seen for 3.5 years again and again and again, that doesn't matter who it is that is challenging my existence, or is challenged by my existence, or is doing something against me, or is not, or it's just me, my action. When Bhagwan is there and he is answering through me, himself, he is the one answering, then why am I racking my brains? And this is not acceptable to, oh, come on. Like there was one person who once sent me a message on Instagram, and I played, like I was like, what? I got a little irritated, so I played back, right? So he said to me that get married and enjoy sex life. So I said, my boyfriend doesn't stop me from doing that. So he said, who's your boyfriend? I said, Osho. So he said that Osho, don't be stupid, forget it, he is dead, he is gone, and you get married and enjoy sex life. Because I talk about sex to super consciousness and all these things, I'm very open about that. So this is what came. So I said, no, my last message was that someone needs to be of that caliber to like outdo my boyfriend. No, where am I going to find an enlightened being? So that is the whole perspective, that they are stuck, that when you lose your body, you are dead.
Yeah.
But that is not true. That is the essence of spirituality. The spirit lives on.
Yeah, this brings back to our original question again, that also have talked about 88 enlightened, more than 88 enlightened master. Mm-hmm. He have wrote book on like all philosophy, all religion, all spirituality, from like bhakti to Jain to sex, super conscious, and these are like part of like the Indian heritage. Like whatever he talk, or our spiritual heritage, whatever he talk was not something that was not written before. Like even Kama Sutra, this came from India. That was like they're already there.
And it's come out of Tantra.
Yeah, come out of Tantra, but still people look him as a sex guru and only focus on his one book.
I want to ask you a question. Can I ask you a question? Why does it affect you when people call him a sex guru?
No, it does not affect me. But there is, like, even in his discourse, he said that I have written books on many things, and I have only written one book on sex, and people only
That is the human mind, and it's the conditioning. What sits well with our ego consciousness, with our ego self, ego is not a consciousness, I take those words back. What sits well with our ego conditioning, ego, whatever it is, ego structure, we accept that. We say that this works, this is not working with my ego, this I will leave. Selective hearing सुना है ना, selective spirituality भी है ना, ये मेरे लिए चलता है, मैं इसको ले लूँगा, ये नहीं. तुमको accept तो whole को ही करना पड़ेगा.
True.
Because people themselves are not whole. They are only partial in one. So obviously when you're not whole yourself, how will you digest, how will you embrace something as whole as Osho? Yes, he's written one book. No one talks about Krishna the man and his philosophy, his best work till date. When he was giving that discourse, Swamiji, there were people who were saying, आज Krishna अगर आज होते तो ऐसे ही होते ना.
True.
एक ऐसा इंसान साक्षात इस धरती पे चला है, who has embodied Krishna consciousness way more than ISKCON even. I've said this a few times. I think ISKCON will come after me and kill me. But like, no. But honestly, it is you have to be whole. You have to be complete and whole to be able to embrace, understand, accept, and love the wholeness with which someone like an Osho comes. If you have that wholeness, you will be able to understand, yes, as a spiritual guru, he spoke about sex to superconsciousness, but he also spoke about Krishna the man and his philosophy, and he also spoke about the Diamond Sutra, the Heart Sutra. He also spoke about Tantra. He also spoke so much about Tantra. What has he not spoken about? Sehjobai, Mirabai, Buddha, Lao Tzu, Changsu. He's spoken about everybody.
Exactly.
Everybody. You talk Buddhism, you talk Hindu, ancient scriptures. Yes, coming back to what you said, it is all there. But like Osho says, I'm not a scripture person. I never quote scriptures. I'm a Bhagavad Gita person because Bhagavad Gita is not a scripture, it's an epic. I'm a Ramayana person, it's an epic. I'm a Mahabharata person, it's an epic. I'm not a scripture person. If I was a scripture person, Bhagwan would not be my guru because Bhagwan says no to scripture. He says, yes, the scriptures have a foundation, but those scriptures are of no use for today's man. You need to go beyond it. I'm into story. I'm a storyteller. I like stories. So I like the epics. And Bhagavad Gita is not a scripture. So a lot of people, because I quote Krishna and I quote these things, sometimes Buddha, they say she's about the scriptures. Buddha is not scripture. Buddha is not, we understand that. But हम किसको जाके समझाएंगे दुनिया में, भाई स्क्रिप्चर नहीं है, ये एपिक है. छोड़ो, क्या समझाओगे? उनको इंटरेस्ट भी तो होना चाहिए. So it has come out of all of that, but the life that Osho has given all of that, our Indian essence, our foundation, ancient India से जो आया है, ancient से, वो जो उसको जो उन्होंने modern flair दिया है for the modern man, that is, I mean, please don't hate me for this, but I don't find that in Sadhguru also. The modernness that he has given, the dynamism that he has given, and the vastness that he has offered in all of his teachings, for every kind of person. Why? Because his one and only focus was, I am not creating clones of myself. I am not creating followers. If you're my lover, love me. But find the divine in you. Remember the divine in you. You don't need me. And after that, he said, the moment you find it, or you even start touching it, please go away. I have too much work. Which guru says this? Guru wants followers. He's like, I don't want.
Ritika, I just want to talk about your visit to Tapovan, and many people just associate Osho as a teacher or author, but you took a very courageous and brave journey to take a Osho Neo-Sannyas initiation from His Holiness Bodhisattva Swami Ananda. And can you share about the experience, and what do you think is the reason that so many works happening in Nepal, in Osho's world?
And one thing I will tell you about, I was so thrilled when I first started meeting Nepalis, they're like Indians, but humbler. And I did one portfolio in Nepal. Beautiful portfolio, really good photographer. He does like the fashion week and stuff there. It was top photographer and really, beautiful makeup, beautiful, like everything was really nice. I brought that to India and it was nice. People said it was nice. But the first response I got is, but you're looking Nepali. I'm like, so? And I started recognizing, अरे यार तू तो वहाँ तपोवन में जाके तो नेपाली हो गई. So I'm like, and I saw, are you looking down on Nepalis? In India, please don't mind Swamiji, I don't look down. I love all my Nepali brothers and sisters. I'm part of this community. Nepal embraced me like their own, like I always say, if India is my home, then Nepal is my temple in that home. So, I'm sorry, I don't want Indians to hate me, but if you do, I'm not here to be liked. I'm here to speak the truth and walk the path of truth. Indians look down on Nepalis. Maybe because Nepal is a little bit behind India, in terms of... But I will tell you personally, interacting in Nepal, and I have so many friends now, both in the city and in the ashram, and I found them more down to earth. I found them more rooted, grounded. I found them more spiritual. I found them more humble. I found them more fun. I've had some of my funnest times with some of my friends in Nepal, whenever I'm there. So my experiences, and Swami Anand Arun is the most compassionate living being that I have met. I have met. So, and I have been meeting, spiritual gurus and teachers since I was little. But this, Swamiji's compassion is of a whole different level. I mean, I could share some stories, but I don't think Swamiji would like them. But honestly speaking, I feel very blessed. I feel very grateful. And I feel very, very humbled that Guru chooses the disciple, right? So that it was Bhagwan, Osho, who chose me. I mean, today I would have not had any other guru. Maybe I cannot decide, but I'm very grateful it turned out to be Osho. And because of that, while he's still in his body, I got initiated by Swami Anand Arun. To be initiated and to be, channelized, Shaktipat, to receive from a consciousness of Bodhisattva Swami Anand Arun, I mean, mera to zindagi dhan ho gaya. Like, what else do I need? Today also, whenever I have any issue, if I pick up the phone and I say that I want to please get me a time with him, I usually tell Kushal or Shobit, and they connect me with him, they get me on a call with him. I talk to him for 15 minutes, share my thing, cry a little bit, he talks to me. Bas. Kuch chahiye nahi, wapas, all the joy and everything comes back. And I'm talking phone se hi unka energy feel ho jata hai. So if I can, find my own sort of light or shine my own light, even 1/4 of what Swamiji has done, I would think that this life mera safal ho gaya.
I'm again saying this because what you are doing in Goa, this retreat is like very
I'm so
not
excited.
a small task. It's a very
It's bigger than my wedding.
courageous moment because I know like advertising Osho, putting his picture flyer, it like you have to go through a lot of hassle with the legal team, with OIF and stuff like that.
And I'm also planning to shoot a documentary while he's there, which has been in planning for the last year and a half or so, which is something that I'm wanting to do in collaboration with the Goa Tourism Ministry. I have some meetings set up when I head back, because I'm really wanting to kind of position Goa as a cosmic capital where it's not just yoga and, like parties and things like that, but also, it offers such a beautiful range of nature, and nature is so important to connect with the nature, true nature inside, that it becomes a very conducive space. I have meditated in a lot of spaces in nature, but the way I'm able to meditate and the way I'm able to go deep within in Goa, I can't.
What motivated you to take such a risk? You are
to do
planning,
this retreat?
Yeah, more than 500
My
people.
love for, Swamiji, I thought it was going to be 300, but I don't think it's going to be 300, it's going to be 500 people. But I took this, I didn't see it as a risk. I saw it as a challenge. I saw it as an experience. And Swami Anand, I want him to come and bless my center. I want him to come and bless the kids. I'm working with underprivileged children, so I want him to come and bless them. I want him to step foot in Goa. It's Swami Anand, Arun. Like, love overpowers fear, no?
Goa has a lot of like also Sannyasin as well, right? It has been a hub. It used to be a hub.
Actually, I also heard this, but when I went looking in the north, in the south, I didn't find many.
Oh, okay.
The few, like Rohan is there, he's initiated with me only. So I didn't really find any Osho Sannyasins. I found some practices like dynamic and all this, but not fully. Like that is also not a good sort of, like they're not doing it properly the way it's happening in Tapovan or it's happening in my center. Just parts of his this thing. So I don't think that there is any, and that's why I think Swamiji Anand Arun said we need a center in Goa. And slowly we need a residential center. I'm not doing a residential center. I'm actually working on a wellness and mysticism resort. So there are wellness resorts, but there is no resort where you can go and experience mysticism and learn it. Also have classes where you can learn it. So I'm planning a very different space. It's like, I'm really excited. I spoke to Swamiji about it. But I find there are people from Goa who have told me that what you're doing, no one is doing. But it's just normal meditations that I'm doing. So I think meditation as a practice needs to be sort of forefronted, and that's why I want to do this documentary, where I want to show that Goa and nature, how conducive it is for meditative practice as well, so that people who are choosing to go to Himalaya to meditate can also think of coming to Goa.
Goa is a nice place.
Yeah, because the ocean, I personally find water kind of works better with me than the mountains. But I'm quite in love with the mountains as well. I live in Goa and I also live in Canada. So I love the mountains. I find the mountains very wise. It reminds me of wisdom. But I find the ocean very chanchal, which is more like me. So, like Chhata Chandrama jiska hota hai na, chanchal. So I like that. So yeah, Goa is a beautiful place for meditation, and I hope as the coordinator for RSSI for Goa, I can actually kind of make a difference and bring more of meditation as a holiday like going for a holiday for meditation and stuff. I hope I can do something fun and something great, at least something meaningful in Goa. Let's just see. I'm just doing what I enjoy right now.
I would like to wish you all the best for this endeavor.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. But you have to come.
Yes, I'm
you have to come,
forward.
and you also have to promote it.
Yes, definitely.
Because now we have to hit the 500 mark.
I wanted to talk so much in this interview, but I think
light,
and we will continue later if the time permits.
I'll be coming for RSSI to Tapoban. We can do one there.
Yeah, but before we end the interview, I'd like to ask about your book. The title itself is like
being selfish.
Being selfish. And are you planning a new book again, or?
I've taken a break this year from writing a book because I'm designing my first tarot deck. Which is something, it's been a long-standing dream for me, and I'm designing that on the Vigyan Bhairav Tantra by Osho. So the first volume is the first deck. So I've taken some time off from writing books to, it's maybe writing here, there's a guidebook and everything, and some poems I have to write for each card. So yes, I've taken a break, but I do plan to continue writing. Being selfish was just a trial thing, and it came out of a catharsis sort of space. I just wanted to get something out.
What made you put this title?
Actually, my best friend Kanika, who's also an Osho Sannyasi, she's the one who picked the title. And it really is about, kind of breaking out of the hive mind and just embracing your individuality and uniqueness and things like that, and finding the divine within yourself. So if I'm talking about these unconditional love and all of these aspects of the limitless self, because the unconditional love only comes from the limitless self. If you're limited in your thought process, you'll never be able to touch unconditional love. So I do, my next book is called The Timeline Jumper. But I'm not going to, I want to take a break from self-help, and I want to write fiction. But still they will have spiritual messages, and I will give Osho credit obviously in my tarot deck and in my books. I will be giving him credit even in my films where I use it, unlike, like you mentioned, people don't give credit. Yeah, they use his, a lot of films have used his messages, but they don't give him credit. But I guess Osho is way beyond credit. The fact that they are using his messages says a lot, messages going out. I will be giving him credit, of course, he's my guru. Because I don't do anything for credit or name or fame or money. I do it for the joy of it. And so, yeah, I'm going to keep writing, but, I'm like a child. Meko aaj ye acha lag raha hai, I'll play with this, tomorrow this. I'll just keep doing it, and something will come out of it.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Ma.
Thanks so much, Swamiji, for having me. It was so much fun. I'm glad we could do it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.